The still room, the photograph developed itself at 2:02 a.m. BT. The camera had been unplugged. The film expired, and the subject had been dead for 18 days. Lena stood in the darkroom doorway, bare feet cold on the concrete floor, fingers gripping the doorframe like it might vanish. The red safe light cast long bloody shadows across the trays. She hadn't turned it on, hadn't entered the darkroom since the funeral. Yet the chemicals smell vinegar, silver, decaved her nose. She'd been a photographer once, before the accident, before she dropped the camera, the moment she saw her daughter's body in the wreckage, before she stopped developing anything but grief. Now, on the drying line, a single print hung wet, steaming faintly in the cold air. She stepped closer. It showed her daughter, Elisa, standing in the backyard at dusk, smiling, holding a dandelion. The photo had never been taken. Elisa had been in the hospital that day, too weak to stand, but the image was sharp, real, and in the background barely visible behind the trees a second figure watched, tall, faceless, wearing Lena's coat. Her breath hitched. She reached for the print. The paper was warm. She jerked back. Water dripped from the corners, pooling on the floor. But the puddle didn't spread. It gathered, pulled inward, formed a small, dark mirror that reflected nothing. She backed into the hallway. The house was too quiet, not peaceful, the kind of quiet that pressed against the eardrums like cotton soaked in oil. Outside, no wind, no crickets, no distant traffic, just the hum of absence. She walked to the kitchen, needed water, needed proof she was awake. The faucet dripped. Plink, she turned it off. It kept dripping. Plink, plink. She grabbed a glass, held it under the tap. The drops fell but curved away from the glass, landed on the counter, evaporated instantly. She stared. Her hands trembled. From the living room a soft creak like floorboards under weight. She froze, listened, silence, then the whisper of fabric, like someone shifting on the couch. Her pulse roared. She didn't move. Another creak, closer. From the hallway she turned. The hallway was empty, but the darkroom door closed when she left stood ajar. She walked toward it, each step deliberate. The carpet muffled her feet, too much, like the fibers swallowed sound. She stopped at the threshold. The print was gone, but the drying line now held 3, all of Elisa, different days, different angles, all impossible. On the last one Neela stood at the edge of the woods, pointing toward the house, her mouth open, not smiling, screaming. Lena stumbled back, ran to the front door, twisted the knob. Locked. She always left it unlocked. Habit, Elisa's rule, in case you need to run. Now the deadbolt was slid home. She turned. The living room was darker than before. The street lamp outside had dimmed, or been swallowed. On the coffee table a child's drawing, charcoal on yellowed paper, a stick figure lying in a car, flames above, and a second figure. Walking away. Her. She reached for it. The paper crumbled to ash in her hands. The room grew colder, behind her. The closet door opened, slowly, smoothly. She didn't turn. She knew what was inside. Elisa's raincoat, still hanging, still smelling of wet grass. But now, the coat moved. Not from wind, from breath. Something stood inside it, wearing it. She closed her eyes. "Stay," she whispered. "Please, I'll stay." The coat stopped moving. The cold receded. She opened her eyes. The room was empty, but the couch now held 2 impressions. She walked to the kitchen, sat at the table. The chair faced the hallway. She didn't remember turning it. The faucet dripped. Plink. She didn't look outside. The street lamp flickered once, then died. Darkness filled the house, but the silence was gone now. It breathed, and in the hollow dark, something waited, not for forgiveness, not for justice, but for her to stop fighting the still room. She leaned forward, rested her forehead on the cool wood. "I'm sorry," she said. The dripping stopped. The house held its breath, and for the first time since the crash, it felt warm.